Hi. So the video here kinda sucks, but bear with me because they were gonna talk about soul contracts. A lot of people wanted me to just expand more on the subject, and I thought hey, I can show you an example of how I do it, and we'll see how it goes. So all you have to do is have a notepad. You can be on your PC, you can have a journal, like a little notebook, I know, like something random like this. And whatever works for you. You can have a pen and a journal, you can have a notebook somewhere where you can write down stuff, just get that set up. And the most important part right now is for me, okay, let's find something to address. How do you do like soul contract session? How do you find the agreements? How do you move through it all? So it all starts with finding an item, finding something you want to address. For a lot of people it will be easy because you know about your issues in life. You know when stuff goes wrong. You know about some negative stuff, about limiting beliefs, you have some fears, maybe you have depression, maybe things are not going good for you right now. If it happens like that, it will be obvious what you need to address. Maybe you're unlucky as can be, maybe you're having a fallout in a relationship, maybe you need to make more money, but something is pushing you, something is bothering you, and that can be a very good item to pick up. For me, it is harder right now because I'm relatively doing super good. And doing sessions when you're doing really good in life is not sort of recommended because you start looking deeper into your case, into your stuff, and you can just find negative stuff and trigger yourself, and all the good zone you've had for a long time will be like, uh-oh, you've kind of ruined it. So you got to be careful. You do sessions when you find something to address, which is present, that has your interest, is happening right now, and of course there are different ways to do it, but still, it's important to pay attention to that. So that being said, what I need to do right now, if I was to do a soul contract revocation session, is find something to address. I can pick something big, but let's say I have limited time. I don't know how long it can take, because sessions usually take up to an hour, 2, 3, depends on how big it is. Which is why for a video it will be important for me to pick up something small, something simple, something that you will like. So, let's see something that's going on in my life right now. Not getting enough rest during the night, maybe not sleeping well, maybe being worried about things. Something easier to talk about would be streaming, maybe about YouTube, maybe talking out loud and stuff, maybe talking slower, things like that. And I'm just looking through my life right now, scanning what do I want to address. Because for now, I don't see my own issues, or it's not present. I keep my case out. I'm just feeling really good in life, which is why finding something to address is kind of harder. But for example, I don't know, having a harder time not getting back to people, maybe. This is my question list. I have questions that I ask myself and stuff. But let's say, I guess something like streaming video games or making videos. Yeah, making videos on YouTube. Let's do that. Making videos on YouTube. This will be my item. So what I did is I'm looking through stuff in my life. I'm looking these areas that are sort of present, things that's going on in my life right now. And I found something that I'm sort of, okay, yeah, this is interesting. This is good. So let's go with that. Making videos on YouTube. This is still kind of sort of general area. What do you mean making videos on YouTube? Are you making the content? Are you not making the content? Are you having a hard time or no? What is it about making videos on YouTube? So, let's see. Maybe not feeling in the mood making videos, or not always executing videos, not having the priority to make videos. Maybe I'm just I have an area making videos on YouTube, which is it's good, it's present in the moment. It has my interest, it has my yes, this is good, this fires me up. Now I'm looking through what is it about making videos, what is it about that I want to do regarding it. Maybe having a hard time breaking through and growing a community because it's huge right now, and maybe wanting to grow my community too fast, maybe not being too patient about growing my YouTube channel, and that sounds about right. So not being patient enough with growing my YouTube channel. Let's say this is the item. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this Word document. I'm gonna minimize my video so that you would be able to see me, but the most important part is here on this. So what we're gonna do open up and have your settings of whatever shrift you want, whatever so that you would see it. So the general area. this is what you want to address, like sort of general what you're looking at is like making YouTube videos, and of course I'm making typos already. Awesome, but so this is the general area of what I'm picking. Specific item, issue. This is item issue problem. This is what you're gonna address specifically. So let's say not being patient enough. Damn it. So, right now I'm feeling like I'm not being patient enough about growing my YouTube content or community. And it seems like a present item. So is it content I'm not growing or community? There's a lot of people talking to me. There's a lot of people who are engaging with me. But there's also I'm not making enough videos. Or another thing I'm noticing is that I usually talk just about Ubi's, soul contracts, past lives. And I'm doing like these sort of live streams where I play video game and talk to my community. So I'm really focusing on small stuff and not having the variety of videos contents to address. So that's another probably possible thing to address is not having the kind of variety on YouTube. And right now I'm like choosing like which item would be more important to me right now. So like, you know, you're like scanning through your general area in life. What is it you want to address? And then you get specific. What is it about that area you want to address? What do you want to fix? What do you want to change? What is going on? What are your thoughts, fears, worries, concerns, anything. So you find something specific like this, like not being patient enough about growing my YouTube channel or my community, my content, or just YouTube channel. Your channel seems to be right. So YouTube channel. Or there's also like not having the content right on YouTube. And maybe that's my bigger problem right now, because I talk a lot about Ubis, I talk about past lives, I talk about like different things, but it seems like I keep like repetitive content and it's like focused on one area. So we're gonna cut that out. You can also like save your topic or whatever, but this is like, let's say my item right now is not having the content or like, you know, sort of thing. This is pretty good. So how do we start? Right now we have the general area that we want to address. We have a specific area that we're going to focus on. And what happens is that you start looking inwards. Okay, so you have to ask yourself a question. Or you might have another person there with you who's going to help you find your agreements. And all you do is like look inwards. So what might be some of the reasons for me not having the content variety on YouTube? And what I have to do is like I look inwards. Like what might be some reasons for not having the content variety on YouTube? Okay, because I'm not really confident about tons of topics that I would like to talk about. So, just me sharing that is my agreement. Just me talking it out about everything, I'm noticing my agreement. So what you have to do is you have to write it down. I'm not feeling confident. Variety. I'm not feeling about the content variety. I'm not feeling confident, or like I feel like I need to have more facts or information. You have to write them out separately because like it has more like power if you revoke it separately, not just all in one line. So, like, right now I'm just talking it out, like, what might be some reasons for not having the content variety on YouTube, or just my channel. When we talk about YouTube, it's like, I'm talking about my own channel, so right now I'm just, like, looking inwards, like, reasons for that. I don't feel confident about the variety, I feel like I need to have more facts, more information, I feel like I need to do more research, and feeling like it, so I'm not doing enough research. I need to do more research. I'm not doing enough research. What else? What might be some reasons for not having the content variety on YouTube? I think that people will not be interested about the stuff I want to talk about. So I feel like it, and then I perceive it. So I have to write both ways. I feel like people will not be interested in what I want to talk about, and also just my belief that people will not be interested in what I want to talk about. So those both are going in. What else? What might be some reasons for me not having the content variety on YouTube? I guess subconsciously I have this sort of fear of growing my channel and having a huge people variety on YouTube or my channel, where right now I have a lot of people who are good, and then if my channel grows, I've already had a few haters who are like, messing with me, and that's fine. People can mess with me all they want. But when they target those that are watching my channel, I do not approve that, and I'm like, get the hell out. Like, I will not allow that. People can target me, I'm fine. But those who are supporting me, not gonna happen, not my channel. So, deep inside, I'm afraid that I will ruin the community that I love and that's been growing. So, like, I have to, like, just write it down, like, how I see it, how I perceive it. And deep inside... So that's how I feel. Like I'm just like trying to name whatever is in there, and I'm just digging inwards. Like, okay, what might be some other reasons for not having the content variety in YouTube? Other reasons is I'm not sure. Let's say like, what is I'm trying to say, or what is I'm feeling regarding it. And like this is like the thing about finding soul contracts. Sometimes you have to, when you pick the right item, it's easy, just flows, right? But the thing is, like, today I'm doing great. I keyed out my case. When the case is keyed out, it's really hard to look inwards. But if you do, you can easily trigger your issues and stuff. So it's best to do like when you sort of have something already going on that you can address already. And since I don't have that, it's kind of hard for me to find out those points. Because right now, I'm so good that I'm not looking deeper in all of these issues, and it's something to do. It's something to do. So, okay. Some other reasons for not having the content variety on YouTube. I don't have the good equipment, or let's say, yeah, I need a new camera. I need a new mic. I need my gear. For like right now, when I think about it, I'm using laptop that I've barely used, and I started using it like for last 2 months or so. So it's like sort of a working laptop. My real like gear, my PC and everything I've had is at my parents' place. I've left everything there. So since I don't have my gear, it's hard for me. Like I don't have my Sony Vegas. I'm not doing video edits anymore. I feel like, no, okay, this is just like right now, if I would visit my parents and if I have a video, I can go and try to do some editing and stuff. But since I don't, since I'm like, I need a new camera because this one, like, laptop is kind of sucky, but at least I can make a video. But still, like, I feel like I need a better gear to make a better content. So this is a belief, a fear, like, I've worried, like, I need a new camera, I need a new mic, I need my gear to make better videos, I need to do editing. And another thing, like needing or wanting, is not having. So you have to address that. I need one, I don't have. Well, I basically have a good mic. I just need to connect it and set it up. But then, like, there's lots of issues with that. So, like, I'm not putting enough work, maybe. Create better content. Another thing, I love making these soft disclosure videos. I love like looking at anime projects that I've seen and finding these sort of soft disclosure messages. Right now I'm playing Death Stranding, and that's great, the soft disclosure messages. So for me, I need to watch the content. I need to take my time to decode it, write down all the details, write down the script, get all the video fragments, and put it all together, and then do the voiceover and upload it as a whole new video. Like, oh look, it's just a soft disclosure about banana fish or something. I've done videos like that in the past. It takes a lot of time, and right now it feels like I don't have enough time because I'm giving tons of sessions lately, which is fine, but it doesn't leave me the energy. Like, okay, yeah, and I don't have the energy. To create the content that I want. I Oh, not making some disclosure content. It takes too long to watch anime or play games to find soft disclosure messages. I'm not good enough at writing a script for a video, for example. There's a project I've started, but just because life happened, like, I'm not sure how to put all the content right, so I'm worrying about how should I say it? I'm worrying about the content I want to make. No, but like, I want to have a specific message to people, and I want to do like everything I can to make it as good as it possibly can be. So I'm focusing on the wrong aspects of making self-disclosure videos. And right now, as I'm talking it up, I'm starting to see that the thing with me not making more content is not necessarily about the variety content or worrying what people will think or not having enough information. The thing is, I love doing the research, I love learning, and as I'm talking it up, I'm already opening my eyes about what's really going on behind the scenes that I'm not seeing right here for myself. And what's going on is that I have specific content I want to make. I'm really into that. I want to make self-disclosure videos, for example, but what happens is that I start like worrying about how to put it, I focus on the wrong things, I spend too much time on like certain details that no one will care about, or I spend about too much time just like picking up the details and then I get distracted and never get back to it. And everything I'm saying right now, those are the agreements. Everything I say are the beliefs I have, or like the perceptions, the way I see the life. These are the agreements. So just by looking at that, you can find agreements and sort of like, yeah, I'm getting my cognitions. It's not about like not having the variety content. It's not about pleasing you or just finding something specific. It's about like self-disclosure videos, and about them, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because I try to find more information. I try to put it nice and then I get distracted. So eventually I don't get back to creating self-disclosure videos. And just by that, just because my focus doesn't go there, I'm not even doing the research that I probably would want to do. For example, the anime called The Promised Neverland. It has a thing about like trapped humanity, entities, demons, like pedophilia, different things. A lot of these messages, and I want to like take my time, sit down, decode it, and write down all the details. But what happens is that I would have to rewatch the anime. I would have to rewatch the episodes and just take notes. And that takes too much time. I am giving lots of sessions lately, I'm writing back emails, and I do not have the priority to make that kind of content. So in the end, it's what it is. So right now, like I have my eyes open, I had a few cogs of what's going on in my case. This is where you can take a break. If you have cognition, if you like have realization of like, oh, that's why, you have like clear and stuff like, yeah, or you're like talking it out and you let it out and it's like sort of makes you chuckle like, how, like that's how it works. Oh, this is awesome. And sort of like it starts to like makes you laugh and stuff. When you have that cognition and stuff, it's okay to let it go. It's okay to stop the process. Stop looking inwards because you found your key point. It's okay to stop. You just found your core. So you stop with that. And what happens next? As I collected these agreements, what we're doing is like, I'm going to go to the beginning and write, I agree that. Basically, this is the soul contract or agreement, both. And I write, I agree that. And I'm feeling confident about my content variety, and all of these, everything I've wrote is an agreement. So I've wrote like I agree that blah blah blah, because this is my agreement. This is my agreement that I've had before, and probably still do. So I'm just gonna like make a nice list, which is why like it's really comfortable having that in Word, because you don't have to like right now. Oh shit, I need more space for that. Like so you just like I agree that, and blah blah blah. So this is my agreement list. This is small enough, but depending on what kind of item you have, like I've asked myself just one question. There are hundreds of questions you can ask yourself and look inwards and like deeper and just dig down, but this will be enough. So now we have so much done and ready. What we're gonna do is like look through the sort of list. I'm gonna of course, like these are the commands for the soul contracts, soul contract revocation. And what we're gonna do is like go through step by step, and I'm gonna break it down and show you how I do it, so that hopefully it'll be easier for you to do it. You can find the commands at richquest.net, also Cameron Day, and like lots of useful things. So just go with that. So, all right. Once you have the agreement list, leave it be. You will need it later on the command 4, and I will explain when. But let's just start. So when you're done with your agreement list, you have the realization, it's okay to let it go and just stop doing everything if you're feeling great. But you might have done like a big part just finding the agreements, and it's okay for you to take your time, just relax, meditate, take a few deep breaths, like and you relax, you let it go, you just clean up your space, you get more energy, you relax, and the first step is stand in the power of your divine inner self-sovereignty. So what you do is you imagine, okay, what is my divine inner self-sovereignty? A lot of people don't know that. And the easiest way I find it to explain is imagine that you are a godlike being. Imagine the hero that you've always admired. As a human being, you have limited powers, but as a god, there are no limits. And you just have to connect with that God part of yourself, that hero part, like, yeah, I'm energized, like I can do so much, and you just pump yourself up, like, yeah, like pep talk, and like just get yourself pumped up, fired up, just in the zone. You feel that connection, you feel energy, you feel like more confident, more energy, like you're just like firing it up, like, yeah, it feels good. So you stand in the power of your divine inner self, meaning like, you are in that divine godlike self. You finally get energized, you finally feel confident, you have that energy. And now that you've done that, the next step is to expand the light of your divine inner self and higher self from your heart. So basically, that energy that we created, we're like surrounding our heart, and then we go like surround our body in the heart sphere of energy. So I'm just surrounding my heart, like my heart, okay, I'm expanding the energy, I'm surrounding myself with that like godlike energy that I have, and I'm just like moving it, like just the whole room in my house, the whole house right here, even like, the whole Lithuania like right now is like powered up, pumped up, like, yeah, I'm in it, like, woo, you just fire it up. So it doesn't have to go that fast, but just for yourself. So just surround yourself in that surrounding, that like godlike energy where you are super powerful. And just feel it, just connect with it, just connect with the feeling as if you were the superhero, as if you were like super powerful. And you're there, and it feels good. So now that you're connected, the next step is to connect to the Earth's core. So just imagine the core of Earth, like deep down, and just connect with it, and like, you can close your eyes to do whatever is like best for you, most comfortable, most empowering. And I'm just taking my few deep breaths. I'm imagining this sort of like godlike being that I am. And I'm beaming out the light from myself down to the Earth's core. I mean, imagine just connecting to the like Gaia Sophia, like the Earth, like, just feeling the connection, grounding, just I have more energy, just comes through me and just fills me up, and we fulfill each other. Next step, as you've connected with the Earth's core, you are connecting to the Galactic Core. So just look at the galaxy and the core of the galaxy, like the round thing that holds everything together, like the black holes and everything. What you're doing is you're beaming an air light from yourself, from your godlike being, up to the galaxy, and you're just connecting with it. And you feel more filled. You feel more energy, more power. If you just like comes up and just fills you up, and you have the energy like feels great, like, yeah, awesome. Next step is like you connect to the infinite source. So the infinite source, a source like, everything that's like keeps us all together, the whole consciousness, the whole like the godlike being, all of us like beings connected all in one, just that like super powerful self that you can be, like from the start, from the very beginning, the very origin of you, to create absolutely everything. This is you. You just connect with that part of yourself. And beings, a lot of people see the source differently. It's okay for you to have a different understanding and have a different kind of connection, but this is how I see it and this is how I do it. So you do whatever's best for you, and I'm doing whatever's best for me. So I imagine that like godlike being that I am, and out there, my source, I just connect with it, and it just feels great. I'm just feeling more empowering. I'm able to deep breathe and more, and just like, what did I say? I'm able to breathe deeper, not breathe. Oh my god. But yeah, okay. So I have more oxygen in my lung, it feels great. Next thing I do is I connect to the forces of divine source light. So imagine all the living beings, all the dogs, cats, like all of these living beings that you could encounter on here on Earth and the whole multiverse, and you just connect with them. Like you just like their loving energy, their healing energy, you just connect with them and just fills you up, you feel happier, and all of that is done. You can visualize it, you don't have to if you don't have like these sort of visuals, you can just imagine it or sort of think it up like, yo, oh yeah, you sort of get an idea, and that alone is enough. Next step is you ask for a galactic vacuum to be ready to remove everything into the galactic core. So what you do is like, galactic vacuum is like a funnel cloud, it's like a vortex, it's gonna suck up anything that you do not need. So all the agreements that we will find, all the entities, facets, anything that we do not need in our environment will be sucked up. So you can ask it out loud, you can ask it in your mind, you can just like give it a command and stuff, but it's gonna be there to help you. It is your power to use that, it's okay. So now that that is done, we're going to another command like number 4, and that is call up all agreements related to an XXX, which would be like, you know, your item. So my item is not having the content variety on YouTube. Your item might be like not having enough money this weekend, not being able to pay the bills this month, not having a good girlfriend, or being a weird boy, or maybe just like not being able to get out of body. Whatever item you've chose, not the area, but specific item, you're putting that into the list. So call up all agreements related to your item on this timeline and all the other timelines and blah blah blah. So like I'm gonna do it my way. Call up all the agreements on call up all the agreements related to not having the content variety on YouTube on this timeline and all the other timelines in the past, present, and future, and within all dimensions, densities, levels, realms, and realities. So what I do is like I imagine my agreements in the shape of a paper, a document, a book, something like anything, and all these agreements that I have. So right now what I'm doing is like past, present, and future, all the times, and all dimensions, densities, levels, realms, realities, all of that, like, you know, just like it goes throughout vastly all of your lives, not just this body, not just your limitations right here, but everything you've ever experienced. So now that you call up all these agreements, including that, and we focus on the agreement that I'm not feeling confident about the content variety, and all you have to do is like read over your agreement list. You read over your agreement list just to call it out. So I'm calling up the agreement that I feel like I need to have more facts, I feel like I need to have more information, I need to do more research. I call up the agreement that I'm not doing enough research. I feel like people will not be interested in what I want to talk about. I agree that people will not be interested in what I agree that people will not be interested in what I talk about. I agree that deep inside I'm afraid that if my YouTube channel grows, it will attract negative people to my community. I've grown. I agree that I need a camera. I agree that I need a new mic. I agree that I need a new gear to make better videos and do the editing. I don't have a good camera. I'm not putting enough work to create better content. I don't have to. I don't have the energy to create the content that I want. I'm not making self-disclosure content. It takes too long to watch anime or play games to find self-disclosure messages. I'm not good enough at writing script. I'm focusing on wrong aspects of making self-disclosure videos. Blah blah blah. You just keep your agreements. You can read it out loud or in your mind, whatever is comfortable for you. But the most important part is that you are able to focus on yourself. I'm just gonna move my video and make it bigger. But now the most important part right now is like you are done with that part. Step 4 is where you call up all of your agreements. All the agreements you've made regarding your item, you call it up and just put it in front. As in, like, the agreement was there somewhere in the past, like over here, and you call it up and you put it right in front of you. Like, oh yeah, this is my stuff, and you see it. So that being said, you call up all of your agreements and, you know, past, present, future, just like all of this. And you don't have to have a specific idea of what it is exactly, but you've read. And the most important part is that like you can just bring it here. You take your mind, you relax, and all of the agreements you've made, and all these times, and all of these dimensions, realms, you just put it all together, just pile it up in one pile. You can imagine like as books, documents, whatever like works for you. And now you see a good pile enough. Like, yeah, cool. It's a big pile. And you might have more agreements, which is fine. Have as many as you need and just revoke them all. But like follow with me. Don't like do the revocation yet. Like go with me. So next step is calling forth all reinstatement clauses. These are the agreements that come back after revocation. It's like a virus. You remove it, or you say like, yeah, I don't agree to it anymore. Huh. And for a moment there, you were able to release it, but it comes back. It grows back. It's just like a seed. You cut down the tree and it keeps on growing. You cut down, like, you're growing onions. You cut down the part, but you let the root, it keeps growing. So you have to take it out fully. Reinstatement clauses are the agreements that come back after revocation. What you need to do is, like, just call them up, like, okay, all the agreements that will come back after revocation, meaning like reinstatement clauses. Also, copies, backups, mirrors. Copies, backups, just like duplicates. Like all of this is like sort of makes sense, I believe. Just like, you might have one agreement of this, and next thing you know, it will be a duplicate. Just a copy, 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 paste. You've done it, I guess. So that being said, we have mirrors. We have mirrors, and basically, when you take, for example, your TV screen, the mirror, your phone, anything, it will write a specific time or whatever, like whatever it might be. So imagine that, but the mirror reflection of what it be. So it's like 5142. And now I have, like, a sort of mirror, a reflection of this world, a parallel world. This is also where our agreements will be, like, held, so we, like, count them up. Because we might make agreement like, oh yeah, my life sucks. So you try to remove it, but it will be another copy, which is like sort of a reflection in our life. So you have to call them up as well. Another thing we're going to call up is counterparty copies. These are the other entities and beings that will hold your agreement for you. You might have said like, oh, I'm just terrible at getting out of body. And if there's an entity, if there's a being who heard you say that, they will like, oh yeah, this is what he agrees to. And now they're holding your agreement. So you're trying to help yourself, you're trying to remove agreements, you're trying to help, like, do that. But as you do the revocation, there will be other entities and beings holding that agreement, which is why we are addressing them as well. If we're able to remove it not just for ourselves, but also other entities that hold it for us, we can remove it completely. So, that being said, the step, say it again, is like, call forth all reinstatement clauses, copies, backups, mirrors, counterparty copies of these agreements previously named. So all of the agreements you've made in the list before, like regarding your item, you have a nice list, and now we're just calling up everything related to it. All of the agreements that will come back after revocation, duplicates, mirrors, backups, blah, 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 like tons of it, like, right? Okay, next step is state. From the inner authority of my sovereign self, I declare all of these agreements null and void. So what you do is, like, you can imagine that all of these agreements you have will be burned down. You're just like burning them out. You're just like revoking them. It's like, bam, they're gone. So next thing you can say to yourself, and you can say it out loud, you can like say to yourself, whatever way works for you, whatever makes you feel more comfortable. Next thing to say is, I revoke all of these agreements, as well as all counterparty copies, reinstatement clauses, duplicates, backups, mirrors, etc. of everything previously named. Now, it might be hard for you to follow me, so I will put these commands in the bottom of my description box or comments, and also you can go to richwest.net or Cameron's daily website where you can find these agreements and just follow with me. So basically what we do is, like, all the agreements that we found, we are revoking them right now. All the piles of these books, documents, whatever, that's like holds our agreements, we're gonna burn them down, just destroy it, and it's gone. So now I do the sort of other steps differently, because right now the next step would be like getting your energy back, but the way I do it is I try to like eliminate things first throughoutly, and once I'm done removing it out, I'm getting my stuff back. So what I do next is I send all of these agreements and null fast as previously named into the Galactic Vacuum to be transmuted into the Galactic Core. To be say simply, all of the agreements that you've made and just burned down, destroyed, you use Galactic Vacuum to suck it all up. Everything. And things that you didn't even notice. Like things like, you might have left behind. You're just like, the Galactic Vacuum will suck up everything inside you, if there's any entities or beliefs, anything in your environment, anything in all the, like in the past, present, and future, within all dimensions, densities, levels, forms, realities, blah, 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 like tons. So this Galactic Vacuum will suck it all up, you give it a command, you remove it. Done. And so you can imagine like this sort of vortex sucking it all up, just like a vacuum cleaner. You have an entity here, and it's being attracted, like, so simply say, now that I like removed my agreements regarding my own item I've chosen, like you do yours, next thing I do is I call forward all counterparty copies of these agreements and send them into Galactic Vacuum for transmutation. So basically, the agreements I might have made with the Demiurge, with the Archons, with any kind of entities, like, oh, my life sucks. And you might not necessarily agree to that, but entities around your space will like, yeah, my life sucks. And now tons of entities will be like, my life sucks. And like, they will all get wrapped with you, and you will pick up on them. It might not be your agreement, but you pick on them because you are empathic, and next thing you know, you're copying them, and they're just like a bunch of, disappointed beings, or like a bunch of who cannot get out of body, who cannot leave you. They're trying to get out, but they cannot, and you're stuck as well. Because you agree with them, you believe that their thing is your thing, and they're like, you can talk to entity and like, who are you? And they're gonna be like, I'm you. So it's simple, for me. But anyway, so I call up all of these counterparty copies, all these beings that will hold my agreements, and I remove them. The Galactic Vacuum will suck them up and transmute them into something better. Next thing I do is there's a big command where you just tell these sort of demiurge beings that I am sovereign. All of you parasitic counterparty beings are hereby notified that you are forbidden from ever affecting my energy again. If you do attempt to violate my energy sovereign sphere, I will forcefully send you to the Galactic Core to be transmuted. And while transmuting will be the best thing that has ever happened to you, it is possible that you will not emerge if there is nothing left within you to salvage and transmute. You have been warned. It's a long text, only to say, okay, you little asshole, whatever you can say to those entities, if you ever mess with me again, I will transmute you, I will remove you, I will unlock you, I will destroy you, and you will be out. It is for you to choose how you interact with them. You can be kind and loving and oh, you poor souls who've been messing with me my whole life. You're forgiven, but if you're ever messing with me again, you will be transmuted, however you choose to manage them. It is your choice of how you want to deal with entities. Some of them are forced to do that, some of them are just loving messing with us. But the most important part is of that long text and message we're warning them is you are claiming your authority. You are feeling sovereign. You are the godlike being. You show who's the boss here, and you tell them the warning. Hey, if you mess with me, if you do that stuff to me again, you're gonna die. You're just you're out. So how you deal with them is up to you. So now that step is done, you offer these demiurge counterparty beings an opportunity to step into the Galactic Vacuum to be taken to the Galactic Core and transmuted. So what happens is you can imagine a court, you can imagine a planet, you can imagine a realm, and what happens there's this Galactic Vacuum. It's gonna suck up everything that you do not need, and what you do is you're calling up all the demiurge beings, all the archons, all the entities, everyone who's been messing with you and affecting you in all those ways. You will remove them and you will make them step into Galactic Vacuum. So some of them will go on their own will. Some of them are trapped. Some of them are I hate my life and I want to be out. And they will listen to you and they will follow your commands. And if you're yay, look, you're free to go. Thank you for all the help. Go. And you just show them Galactic Vacuum and they'll want transmutation. They're tired of this body. They're tired of the surroundings. They want out. They want to be free. They want to live a better life. Which is why some of them might go on their own free will. Others will be no, fuck you, I want to stay here, little bitch, whatever, they can mess with you all they want. So, you do not want those in your environment, you do not want them messing with you, you force them to go into the Galactic Vacuum. So, just use the Galactic Vacuum like a vacuum cleaner, just imagine sucking all of those entities up. And it can be a few of them, 10, 20, 100, or a few millions. I've seen people in sessions doing this sort of step, and these found millions and billions of entities around themselves, around their surroundings, in their life, who've been affecting them in tons of ways. Entities that will keep us shove themselves down ourselves to keep us in our body, or mess with us and make not allow us to make money, or make us disappointed, or scared. All of these things. You can remove all of these entities, just get rid of them completely, and you're done, and you're full. You just remove tons of these entities and they're out. So what I'm focusing right now, any entities that make me think that I might need more variety content, or I'm not confident about it, entities that affect my confidence, entities that will mess with me. I just imagining all of them affecting me. Yeah, there's a few there. In my body, yeah, there's a few in my body that will sort of creating this sort of feel, or fear, not trusting myself, this sort of low self-esteem and doubt. A few clusters, a few thousand of them. So I'm just imagining that this Galactic Vacuum sucking them out and just getting them off my field. Now that is done, the big step is coming up. So pay attention. Next step is it's big. I can read over the whole thing, but we're gonna do it in detail. Next step is removing all the imprinting, implants, overlays, beliefs, perceptions, attributes, identities. What Cameron Day doesn't mention is entities after the identities. All identities and entities, which is really important, and all frozen emotions. So now this big command, okay, remove it all. No, don't just read it over and you're done. No, pay attention. when you do this sort of step, focus one by one. I've removed all my imprinting. All imprinting related to my item, which is like, creating a variety content on YouTube. And by that, it's not just saying it like, yeah, remove it, done. No. Scan through your life. Where is the imprint? What does it look like? What is it? Variety content, like, oh yeah, like Mr. Beast is making tons of various videos, so I need that. I feel like my videos are like all about the same stuff. And this is my agreement. This is my imprint. I'm making same old stuff. I'm making like talking about same old content. People are not interested. These are the imprints. I'm getting them out. I'm not just like, oh yeah, imprint, cool, done. No. You scan through your life, not just this life, all your past, present, and future within all dimensions, levels, from blah, blah, blah. Tons of things. Like, however deep you want to go is up for you. I try to go deep as I can because I just want my space clear. We're done with the imprints. Now we're going with the implants. So I remove all the implants related to your item. I'm removing it on mine. And so for me, removing all the implants related to me creating a variety content or not creating variety content on YouTube, and I have to like focus. Okay, go deeper. Like, what does it mean? Like, what implants do I have? And implants that I cannot create variety content. Implants that I'm not supposed to. Like, it just scares me. Like, oh, whenever I'm supposed to like make more videos, it's gonna like sort of zap me with this sort of fear and doubt. And like, no, you're not gonna succeed. No, you're not gonna make that content. No, you're just not gonna be good. Or like, they're gonna ban you. They're gonna do all this stuff. I have the implant of the sort of fear. The sort of like, so whenever I'm like, yeah, it's a good idea. I want to make it. Zap. It doesn't hurt, but what happens, I get fear, I have worries, I have concerns, and for me it's easy to sort of feel it and just know it. You have the knowledge of the whole multiverse, because you've been out. It's not just like your one life and you're limited with 20 years of experience. You're a soul who has a lot of time, like lifetimes, I'm sorry, but you've experienced life a lot of times. It's not just this only experience, like however old you are here. You have the knowledge, so that information will come to you naturally if you look for it and tap into it. So I'm looking through more of my implants. More of my implants doesn't have to be this body. Any other bodies out there? Like, I have some clones. My astral body's been kidnapped. Anything regarding like creating variety content or not creating it. And yeah, like I can even see my past lives where I'm limited to doing same old thing because something new would kill you. And people are afraid to do something new because it caused destruction and like these sort of nuclear explosions too many times. It's like, you're very limited, so you have to stick with same old thing, same old like stuff again and again and again, otherwise you're gonna like have death. So I'm like having this implant from past, like this sort of traumatic incident implant, and I'm removing it, like that goes as well, I don't need it anymore, I'm done. Next step, we are removing overlays. So overlays, like, you have a cake and the frosting is on top, so the frosting is an overlay. Whatever cover your cake had in the beginning, like whatever cover I might have, like, look, awesome book, right? Like, looks great. This is an overlay. I still have the same book, but a new cover came up. Yeah, awesome. So same in life. You might have issues with being having the self-abuse, like hitting yourself. Oh shit, I suck. Boom, and you hit yourself, and you are like not tolerant. You might have like various issues in life, but what happens is that is the overlay. This is the cover-up. Hitting yourself might be your solution to getting the attention. Might be your solution to like easing the pain, kicking in the endorphins, tons of things. So you were always into like when shit gets bad, you hit yourself because it's gonna make you feel good. Not because, like, people can, like, oh, you poor thing, let me help you, what did you do, where did that came from, and you get that care, you get that love, because no one ever gave that to you. So your self-abuse, or whatever issue you might have, you just look through it, what is underneath that, what is hiding, what is the overlay, like, what is the frosting on that whole thing. So you can, like, find all these details, and you can just scan through it, and, like, okay, for me, what kind of overlays do I have for, like, not making variety content on YouTube? Like being too lazy, because I could, instead of going to bed like and getting my 5-hour rest, I could stay up 1 more hour and just like do more content, do more research, do more stuff. Like giving different priorities, like that's another thing. So I'm removing that. You focus on your item, remove whatever overlays you might find. Next thing is beliefs. So I scan through my beliefs regarding not making variety content. And it's gonna go like easy, like, my belief is that, like, I'm just not focusing on enough things. People will not like what I'm interested in. people have different interests and that won't be popular, or that like the message might be different and not spiritual, and that's also a thing. Like, yeah, and the spiritual stuff is important to me, so if I create something that's not spiritual, it's gonna be like, oh, this is weird, like my channel is turning into something more mainstream and not what I want it to be, or like what I think it should be. So this is a belief, I don't need it, I remove it. What kind of perceptions do I have? Perceptions is the way you see things, not just believe it, but the way you see it. So, variety content does not perform as good as, for example, when I talk about UBIs or about like past lives or soul contracts. So when I do that, my content does not show up so good, and which means that people don't like it. And I perceive that variety content is not good on my channel, and I should not do it. This is a bad perception. I don't like it. I might just think it up. So I'm out. Like, done. I don't need that anymore. Attitudes. What kind of attitudes do I have regarding like creating, variety YouTube content or not creating it? Attitudes I have is the way like I see it, and like what's my attitude toward that is that being, well, again, too lazy is really repetitive. Maybe even like too tired, too exhausted. My attitude is like it's just too exhausting. Like it takes too much to do the research, to find all the facts, to learn it, to get like really deep into it. And right now, since I have more priorities, it's just not a thing for me. So it just like feels like too much. And yeah, my attitude, like I don't need that. Like I can deal with it without having this sort of like, oh, it's too much. Like I don't need that. It might not be my thing, but it's the attitude I have. I don't need that. Like to hell. Like so you revoke it, you remove it. Next thing is identities. So it is like your personality. Again, lazy, too tired, too exhausted. Like regarding my type, like like my item of not like having enough variety content on YouTube. But you look through your item. What kind of identities do you have, and people around you? If anyone else is playing in your item, like your family, your spouse, your lover, your friends, whoever else, like oh, this person is judging me. What kind of personality does the person that's judging you have? What do they have? Like some people like oh, you're a charlatan. So like the person is like calling like just like I don't know, sort of insulting me, like insulting personality. Yeah, like insulting like identities. So whatever you might have for yourself and for other people, name it and remove it. You don't need those identities. It's not you. You are not supposed to be negative. Anything that's positive, anything that's helping you, awesome. Anything that's like not like pushing you forward, get out. Like no, you don't need that. So now that we are addressing with entities, identities, we are moving up to entities. Cameron Day does not mention that, but it's really important stuff. All the entities related to your item, for me, it's like not making the variety content on YouTube. For you, might be something else. Look to your space, to your life. Where did these entities like sort of start suppressing you, maybe affecting you, maybe causing thoughts, fears, like emotions? Where did they trigger you? You scan through your life. And like, yeah, entities that sort of like cause the dwelling, that cause the fear, that cause the worrying, that cause the different perception. Like they make me think that I'm not good enough. They make me think that people will do this and that. People might be fine. I might be fine. But these entities, they're like, no, people will not like it. And you have this sort of like another thing in your head going like talking to you and stuff. You don't need that. Remove it. Remove it for yourself. Like if you have other people relating to your case, remove the entities from their space as well. If your parents are suppressive, if you're living in a harsh environment, if you have something going on, if your life is not lucky, I'm unlucky as can be, like whatever your item might be, look if there are any entities related to other people around you. Like remove them as well because it's gonna help. Then with that, we're looking for a frozen emotion. An emotion is like stuck in time and space. Emotion is like a pattern, something repetitive. So like again, like dwelling. This is repetitive. This is really, really repetitive. Like I keep like saying like lazy, dwelling, like having the sort of worry, and maybe like the sort of negativity. Negativity is there, like or sort of like low self-esteem, various things like that for me on my item. But you look through your case and again find any possible frozen emotions that's like been stuck there like for a whole lot like time, and remove that. And now with this huge step done, another thing we're gonna do is ask your divine inner self to direct a galactic vacuum throughout your unconscious mind and subconscious mind, and now throughout your sphere of consciousness to remove all of these components and anything else related to these agreements. So all I had my space and stuff, and directing a galactic vacuum is going to remove everything, and I'm done. And it clears me out. And it's like just by saying it, I'm doing the step like as I say it, and it just like clears out the space. So it's not just like your conscious, it's subconscious, and anything you did not notice is being removed. And with that done, we're coming back to a few steps. Like, I'm changing it up the way I do it. Cameron does it differently. But we're coming back to a step where we reclaim all of the energy that has gone into these agreements. So all of you've used up, all of your energy where, you know, you've been abused, where you've had a hard time, where you were unlucky, where you could not get out of body, and all these, like, sleepless nights and everything else. And for me, like, you know, just not having the right, like, content on YouTube and worrying about my content and people and all this stuff, you release all that, like, negativity and get back all of the energy that you've used up. All of the, like, you know, energy that you could have used up for something positive. All of your sort of, like, life, just get back, like, life essence and soul fragments. So do it one by one, like the energy. Just fill yourself up, like more energized, and you just go, like, through the crown chakra and just fill your body up. And you're just, like, getting the energy, like, fills you up, energy is back, and then life essence. This is, like, you know, the luge that's being sucked out is your life essence, so you get it back. You're just like, okay, you've been messing with me? Fuck you. And you, like, get back the energy that belongs to you, your life essence, you fill it up, and you feel more alive, more zeal, more animated, like, this is you, this is my power, like, yes, I love it. And next thing you do is you, get back all of your missing soul aspects or soul fragments. So your personalities that have been, like, you know, got away from over the years. You might be super creative. You might have had ability to get out of body. You might have been super lucky, super happy, super into life, and, like, anything. And at some point you've lost that. You don't have it anymore. And it sort of, like, messes you up. So what you do is you focus on that part and you just call them back. Like, for me, it's gonna be like my confidence, my knowledge, my information, like my true higher self, the real part of me. It's like I'm just like coming it back. And for you, it might be something else, like, you know, your love, your creativity, your like, you know, your life, just like wanting to live and like wanting to do and like passion and purpose. You call it back and you fill yourself with those parts. And you might not have to feel it right away, but you will notice that in time you change for the better. So as you, like, fill it all up, just allow yourself to relax. And another step is expand the light of your sovereign energy and sovereign inner self to fill in all the areas that you have cleared. So everything that we let out, all of the negative parts out, every agreement we removed, it's out. And just imagine that all these parts that you've cleared up is being filled up with, like, good energy, healing energy, like love and creativity and self-confidence, anything that you need for yourself, just fill it up and return it and become one, become better. And it sort of, like, relaxes you, it makes you feel good, and you're free, and it's done. Cameron has a few more steps, but this is where I finish. Like, I fill myself up, and I'm done, and I'm feeling good, and it's done. And the session has been done. That's it. That's all it takes. It's for you to find your area that you want to address, get specific, find the agreements, go through these steps, and you're done. And the good thing about it is, like, you know, you can see results right away, in a minute, an hour, a day, a week, but you've done one session right now with me, or you've gotten, like, sort of an idea of how to do it. Pay attention to what happens. Pay attention to how you react to the environment, how you work through it all, what happens in your life, how do you interact with things, and how do you deal with it. Like, next things that comes up, you have an idea now how to go through the revocation process. Next thing you do is take time, relax, and if something else comes up in your life, something similar, because you might think, like, oh, I've removed agreements with me being unlucky, but I still keep, like, being unlucky. There's similar items. You remove one thing, it's done once is enough, you don't have to repeat the whole process again, unless you think it, like, you missed the part with the reinstatement clauses where agreements that you've made, like, come back after revocation. But if you remove that, it should not come back. So what happens, you might find something similar. Like right now, not making variety content on YouTube is okay. I'm not making the variety content, but now I'm afraid about, like, I don't know what kind of videos to make. Still feels kind of the same, talking the same old stuff and not knowing what next to address and stuff. But this is a different item. It's connected. They have similar feeling. It's like an overlay. It's something like that was deeper. Like you're peeling the onion. You took out one layer, which is like your item. You find something new. Address that, and just keep peeling these onion layers. Keep digging inwards. Keep looking at yourself and next item, and just address it. Like, do the sessions, and go through it. Sometimes the processes are long. Sometimes we're too lazy. Sometimes we're not accountable. And we start the session, but it takes too much, and and you're just like, oh yeah, cookies, I want cookies, and you go grab your coffee, you go grab your cookies and stuff, you get distracted with life, and you never finish your sessions, you don't force yourself to do it. It's all about the willpower and how much do you want it. If you have your chaperone, someone, to listen to you, someone to talk to you and do these sessions with you, awesome. If you can do it by yourself, great. But I know how much it takes, like, resolve to just sit down and do this all by yourself. Like, for me, it's a 1 hour video. It takes time. Just a small item. Just imagine if the item was much bigger. And for me, like, yeah, of course, I'm explaining steps and all that. And, if you get better at it, if you work at it, you can do sessions on the go. You can go to your work. You can sit on the pot. You can go pee. You can go like make food or just eat. Whatever you're doing. If you know the steps, if you know how to find agreements, you can do it on the go wherever you are. Sometimes the process takes 5 minutes, and you're just doing quick and easy and dirty. Well, it doesn't have to be that dirty, but still, like, oh yeah, like, I'm just like, the airport thing is not working, I'm not getting my ticket, and I just remove that agreement. Now, when you say my class and entities and stuff, and you just go like really fast through it, next thing you know, the airport is working, and you got your ticket, and everything's fine. So, follow the steps. Let me know how it works for you. Notice the changes. What item have you addressed? You don't have to share all the details if you don't want to, if it's private. But I'm interested if this video was helpful, if you were interested, and if it's working for you. So yeah, the video quality sort of sucks, but it's all about the message, and that's the most important part. So that being done, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it was useful. Let me know, and I'm always looking forward to hearing back from you. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. If you have more questions, if you want me to do more of these, let me know. We can totally arrange it. We can do it. So, good luck. I hope you do these sessions as well and win in life. Let me know if you do. And if you don't, let me know as well. And this is how the session looks like. It's nothing too complicated. You don't need to get out of body. You don't need to do something specific. No. You can be right here, right now. You have your idea of like what's right here. Like, oh, this is my problem. Address it. And you just go through it. You remove it. And all that is done. So this is how I do it. Sort of in detail, but let me know. So wrapping it up, thank you for watching, I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.